Since the mid-1800s, immigrants have come from far and wide to make their home in the Cowichan Valley. They left behind poverty, political or religious persecution, rigid class system, and sometimes wars that had torn their home countries apart. Their journey to Canada were long and difficult, and some died on the way. Immigrants choose Cowichan for the beauty of the area and the natural resources.
They came here for a variety of reasons, seeking riches, to make a new and better life for themselves and their children, joining friends and family who were already here. They worked in mines and forests. They helped build railroads and communities. Both men and women immigrants helped build a new home in Cowichan. Here are some immigrant stories.
I was in my second year university. So as a university student, you hear lots of political issues, and so most of Tibetans are nomads, so they basically really don't hear anything about what's going on. So lots of really bad stories you hear. As most of the Tibetans escape from Tibet, they have to cross the Himalayan mountains to get to Nepal. And then again, I lived there for enough years to feel that, we don't belong there also. There are so many, moments that I really, really wish that I had my own country where I can just, speak my language and live the culture where I was born, It is hard to explain to my son about the story of Tibet. How can he understand where his dad came from? We live in such a different world here. His experiences are so much different from the children's there. The journey is a hard one. Few of the hard part of that journey is, one, you're leaving your own home country. You're leaving your parents and brothers, sisters, and friends behind, and you're basically leaving everything. And that part is a huge part. You never notice until you get the other side of the fence. And the second part is just the journey itself. We were just in our regular clothes, like normally what we wear. We were wearing the same thing on top of the highest mountains on earth. And then there were so many days we didn't have enough food, drinks, crew. So there are so many people who get so many hardships on their way. So many people even lost their life. Lucky when you're crossing that mountain, it's too snowy or something, you don't even see your own way, and so people kind of keep circulating in the snow, and then it's too cold, and so many people lost their lives. And then on the mountains also, the mountain doesn't just say that, it's there's so many cracks in the glacier, and if you fall inside there, it's you're dead, just because some group of people by birth had to go through such a hardship. When you really think that part, it's really sad, Today I was doing a presentation about my movie to this class, and their teacher asked me one question, and that was a really triggering question, She asked, the parents just to send their kids? If you really know the situation, why parents send that, then it's another thing. But it just, by asking that question was it's very hard, because, we're talking, the movie is about 7 kids are escaping, and, like me particularly, I know all the kids, I know their situation and why they left. And so that is always an issue for both kids and the parents too, So she was basically exploring and try to understand the situation. After I left Tibet to Nepal to India, I was there like as a stateless person. And basically, you know, under those circumstances, I really wished so many times that, you know, if there's a country that really accepts anybody, you know, can just, you know, be there and be as yourself. And when I heard and learned more about Canadian system and then Australian, you know, like both these countries are pretty young and they're established based on like immigrants come from different countries and coming together and, you know, learn to live together. When I first came like Canada again, you know, for the first few times I really thought it's the same, you know, and you know, people don't like me, people don't like immigrants, people don't like differences. Like now, you know, as of, you know, after 8 years today, when I really think of the community, you know, I just sincerely notice that, you know, goodness is in everybody's heart. It's just a matter of opening that goodness in our, you know, heart. There are many things I can do to support the people in my country. We have a temple here where we're free to practice our culture, many celebrations, and my son is free to become who he is meant to be and has the opportunity to play like a child should.
Liam, Sarah, what do you know about the Japanese people in the Chemainus area?
Not much.
Not much? I would like you to find out why there's a Japanese mural in Chemainus when we don't have a Japanese culture here anymore. So you're going to go and look at the mural, you're going to ask questions from people and find out why we have a Japanese mural in Chemainus. What happened to our Japanese immigrants? Are you up for it?
Yes.
Good. All right. So, 2 weeks. And I can hardly wait to see it. Have Liam and Sarah come up next and share with us what they learned about the Japanese immigrants in Chemainus. Come on up, you two.
When we were asked to learn more about the Japanese mural and about the Japanese people that it represented, who used to live in Chemainus, we thought it would be a pretty boring assignment. I mean, what was there to learn?
There's hardly any Japanese people here. The teacher asked us to start by going to the museum and asking questions about them. She said we might be surprised at what we don't know.
On our way to the museum, we decided to look at the mural.
After that, we realized we had a lot of questions for the people at the museum. Who are the Japanese people that came here?
We talked about these things all the way there. None of us had ever been into the museum before and didn't really know what to expect. It was pretty cool. The ladies there were so excited to help us and took us on a tour of the Japanese relics they kept inside. We even got to go downstairs into the archive room to look at old report cards from all the students.
What we discovered wasn't that great. In fact, we didn't really know that the history was so sad.
Well, in around 1940, according to what I found out, there were about 200 Japanese people living in Chemainus. So if you can imagine in your school, you would have a lot of Japanese friends in your school, a lot of Chinese friends in your school. So the sad thing that happened with the Japanese people is in the 1941, during World War II, the Japanese fighters bombed a place called Pearl Harbor. Do you know about that?
No.
Okay. And then people here became kind of afraid, Canadian people, afraid of their Japanese neighbors. And unfortunately, they were forced to move away from Chemainus. They were taken away from Chemainus. And that was called the internment. So if you can imagine, one day you would be at school with your Japanese friends, and the next day you went to school and they were all gone. Because during one day they were just kind of rounded up and taken down and put on a ship, and away they went.
We're here to look for the Japanese monument.
I hear that many Japanese lived here and take them away.
So what we learned from this assignment is that in order for us not to repeat history, we have to learn about the stories of the people who lived in it.
We learned that we are so lucky to have everything we have from different cultures. We all have so much to learn from each other.
Immigration today is a bit different from in the 1800s. Immigrants are coming to Cowichan from all over the world. Today, families can do research about the Cowichan area and perhaps find a job online, but it is still a challenge and an adventure to immigrate to Canada. Let's help give immigrants to Cowichan a warm land welcome.